Good morning, Algebra 1. Or for some of you guys that are probably watching this completely in the middle of the night, good night, good evening, all the above. I just wanted to start off with a little way of saying today is going to be a good day. I learned from Brendan. That's the best way to start the day. I know it's going to be a good day. I want you guys to know how much I'm still praying for you every day. When I'm putting my kid to bed at night, I'm praying for you guys. I just want you to know that I start the day with devos and praying, and you guys are all a part of that. So, again, you guys got prayer requests, you got anything that you want help on, just in your life, if it deals, of course, with math, yes, but anything, guys, send it my way. Send me an email, a message, whatever you need, I'm here to help you guys. All right, today we are doing some extremely exciting stuff in section 3. I know we got a little bit of a glare up there, but this says multiply and divide rational expressions, okay? This is going to be one of those days where Mr. A, sadly for you, but not so much for me, I kind of geek out on this stuff because we get to factor, we get to cross stuff out, we get to simplify problems that start out this big down to answers that are super small and nice and neat and tidy. So keep up, watch the video, pause it, rewind it, rewatch it, do everything you got to do. All right, so again, you got to remember how to factor, all right? Other things that you need to remember, what we just did in section 2, is if you get an expression such as x minus 3, you remember that that minus sign, it's a bond. It keeps the x and the 3 together. You can't just cross out the x. You can't just cross out the 3. It's all of it or it's none of it, all right? So you can only cross out all of it or you can cross out none of it. All right, the next thing to remember is when you're dividing a fraction, you got to use KFC. Keep, flip, change, KFC. All right, you're going to see that used multiple times here. So I have one whole problem where I worked it out for you guys. What you're going to see here in this section is you have an expression divided by another expression. You have a binomial over a trinomial multiplied by a trinomial over a binomial. I get it. It might seem overwhelming. It might seem like it's too much. But what you have to do is break it down into like 4 little mini problems and then start to look at the whole thing. I mean, take this 3x squared plus 3x and just simplify that. Follow the arrow down. I took a 3x out, and what did I have left over? X plus 1. Then take a look at this trinomial here. I could see that every term shares a 4. So I took a 4 out, and then I factored what was left. What was left was a perfect square trinomial. So it broke down very nicely into x minus 3, x minus 3. Then let's go to the other side. I got another trinomial. Follow the arrow. It factors. It factors very well. X minus 3, x minus 1. Then I have this x squared minus x. Notice there is an x in common to both parts, so factor that x out. And what do you have left over? X minus 1. Now you're going to see these dashed lines that are crossing parts of it out. So right here, you're going to see x minus 3 can be crossed out with the other x minus 3. Now take a pause right here. This is important to understand. This concept, even though there's this little dot in between, that multiplication tells you you are allowed to cross something out that's on this side with something out that's all the way on this side down here. As long as it's on the top being crossed out with something on the bottom, it works. And the second thing to notice is it's the whole expression, x minus 3, x minus 3. The whole thing matches, so all of it can be taken away. X minus 1, another x minus 1. both are identical, you can cross them out. Now you get to look at the little individual terms here. There's an x, there's another individual x. Now why can I cross those guys out? I can cross them out because all we're looking at there is multiplication and division. Notice here, x minus 3, that's subtraction. That goes back to yesterday's notes. Rewatch those if you need help with that. An individual x could be crossed out with another individual x because 3x, just multiplication. An x completely by itself, just multiplication. All of that simplifies to this. 3 parentheses x plus 1 over 4 parentheses x minus 3. All right, let's do another example, but this one's division. What do we use with division, with a fraction? KFC. All right, so you'll notice KFC, follow the arrow. I keep the whole first fraction. Don't mess with it. This is now going to be multiplication, and I'm going to take this and flip it. I'm going to flip it. Now, what did I do here? Boy, there's a little bit of a mistake. I didn't flip it. So you got to take that, and we need to flip it to x squared minus 7x minus 8 over x plus 1. Now here comes all the work. I'm going to need some space, so I'm going to erase right here so that we can start to simplify everything on this side. All right, 7x squared minus 7x, what do they share? They share a 7. Take that 7 out. They also share an x. Take that out. What is left over? X minus 1. Where did that 1 come from? Because I took the 7 and the x away. There's not a 0 left. There's a 1 left. That's vital. It's important. Remember that. All right. Over. I can factor this. Put a double set of parentheses, x and x. When it goes plus minus, goes plus minus here. I'm going to need the 3 there and the 1 there. Then we are multiplying. Now I need to factor that trinomial right there. So what happens? X, x, minus, minus. What does that make? Plus, minus. And I'm going to look at, let's see, the 8 needs to be the negative, and the 1 needs to be the positive. So I get a negative 7. And down here, x plus 1, can't do anything with it yet. Look at the whole problem. What can I cross out? X plus 1, identical. Cross it out. Right here, x minus 1, x minus 1. Those are identical. Cross them out. What do I have left over? I have a 7x parentheses. Don't forget on this side that x minus 8. That's still left over the x plus 3. That is left over as well. So this is another example of what it looks like to KFC factor. Simplify. Cross out, cross out. Let's do more. Let's check it out here. First example problem, you'll notice a little bit simpler. We don't have to factor anything yet, but we can immediately start crossing things out. All right? Why is that? Because it's all multiplication and it's all division. There's no plus something. There's no minus something. So you can immediately start simplifying. And can you simplify at an angle? Yes, you can. 7 and 14, that can be simplified. So that 7, it's gone. There's a 1 left. That 14, it's gone. There is a 2 left. Now let's take a look at these x's here. I see an x down here, and I see 3 x's up here. That x is gone. That 3 becomes a 2. Now take a look here. That x to the 3, that whole thing is gone. Why? Because I had 4 x's up here, right? There's 2, there's 2. So if I have 4 I just took 3 away. There's 1 left over on top. So this is gone, and that 2 is gone. All looking at what is left over. I have an x on top, I have a 4, and I have a 2. So what do I have left over on the bottom? 8. All of that original problem simplified just to x over 8. Right there. Okay, let's take a look at example 2. Now it's a lot bigger. Yes, we have trinomials. Yes, we have more dealing with where we could factor things out. So think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4 mini problems that you are going to slowly start to simplify. But take those 4 mini problems, do that first. Just factor this. What do I get when I factor that? X, there's a plus, there's a minus, and let's put the 2 here and the 1 here. So this trinomial factored here. All right, now let's take this as another little mini problem. They both share x. Take it out. What's left over? X plus 2. Uh-oh, hint, hint. I'm seeing things that I'm already going to be able to cross out, right? X plus 2. X plus 2. Don't cross them out yet, but you know you will be able to once the whole thing's ready to roll. Now, multiply. Here we go. What do these guys share? A 2 and an x. 2x, take it out. What's left over? X plus 1. Why is it 1? Because I took the 2 and the x completely away. Seems like it's a blank space, but there's a 1 there. All right. Now, what do these guys have? They all have a 5 in common. Take that 5 out. What's left over? I'm going to write it right here, just so you can see what that trinomial looks like. X squared minus 3x plus, what is that? 2. All right, good. Now, this trinomial, I'm going to factor it right down here. Okay, follow with me. Wake up, stay with me, stay with me. Okay, here we go. All right, x, and that's going to be a minus and a 2 and a 1. Okay, now we can start to cross so much stuff out. X plus 2, x plus 2, x minus 1, x minus 1. What else do I have? Oh, I do have something more. I have this x with this x. Now, is there anything else that I can cross out? I don't think so. X plus 1, x minus 2. Good there. 2 over 5. All right, what do I have left? I have a 2, x plus 1. All right, all over a 5, and then an x minus 2. All right, that is what you have left over. Okay, here we go. Stay with me, stay with me. All right, so division, what does that mean? KFC, keep, flip, change. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is let's flip this fraction right here, and let's change it now to multiplication. So I'm going to have an x squared minus 6x plus 8 on top. I'm going to have an x squared minus 2x on the bottom. So this has been flipped. It's no longer there. All right. 4x, can't do anything with it. 5x minus 20, I can take a 5 out. So I'm going to go 4x over, take a 5 out. What's left over? X minus 4. All right. Multiplication sign. What can I do here? That's a trinomial. I can factor that trinomial. There's x. There's x. 8 could be 4 and 2. I like that. 4 and 2 can make 6. So we're going to go minus, minus. When it's minus plus, that's what goes in here. 4 and 2. And the final piece, x squared minus 2x, what can I take out? I can take an x out. What is left over? x minus 2. Now comes the fun part. Let's chop it down. What do we got? X minus 2, gone. X minus 2, gone. X minus 4. X minus 4. I see an X over here. An X right here. That's a ton of stuff that we just chopped down. Everything on this side is gone. Everything on this side is gone except for 4 divided by 5. Is there anything that I missed? I don't think so. Boom. 4 divided by 5. There you go, guys. Stay with me. Watch these videos. Watch them again. Keep working hard. It pays off. All right? Care about you guys. We'll see you next time.